Hey guys, we'll be starting in just a second. AR and May want to try talking so that they can let us know if our levels seem roughly even.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, let's see how this. Oh, okay, how's it going over here?
It seems like everything's roughly even, but we'll just double check with them before we start. Let me go ahead and close Twitter, lest I get even more distracted. Okay. Okay, so may be a tad loud, but I believe everything's roughly even.
Oh yeah, I'll just move away from the microphone. That's it, that's for easy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm a touch low apparently, so let me just raise mine just a touch. Okay, that should even.
I was gonna say if you're low, I could move my mic back a little bit.
Looks like it's about fine. AR, it sounds like you're cutting out every once in a while, but that's probably just the Wi-Fi, and there's not really much we can do about that, realistically. But it seems like you're coming in well.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll grab 30 seconds of silence, and
I can tell.
okay, we'll grab 30 seconds starting now. Okay, that should be good. AR, if you do cut out a bit during the show, we'll just pretend you're a ghost haunting us.
Spooky.
Yeah. Everyone ready to go?
Yep.
Okay.
Hope so.
Welcome to the With the Will podcast. We're here to inform and hopefully entertain a little bit regarding Digimon. I'm Mark, I run With the Will.
I'm May, I'm from Lost in Translation.
And I'm a Paul for Digimon.
Yeah, AR, you're definitely cutting out quite a bit.
Okay. Let me see if.
Yeah, just give us a minute, everyone. AR is set up slightly differently this week.
Work on. Okay. Well, if it continues, I'll have to make other arrangements.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, we'll figure. We always figure it out, so we will this time also. Okay, I'll go ahead. Let's go ahead and try it again. Welcome to With the Will podcast. We're here to inform and hopefully entertain a little bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, I run With the Will.
I'm May, I'm from Lost in Translation.
And I'm A.R. Pulver, Digimon System Restore.
We're here with slightly more to talk about than we thought, and just to make everyone aware, AR is in a different location, so his internet may cut out. If so, either he'll only chime in when he has to, or it may end up just being me and May if necessary, because all three of us seem to be having a week. I believe you broke your foot.
Not broken, which is good. I just really badly sprained, and I can't walk, and I've been on crutches for a week.
I'm getting sick. I have a hurt knee, and Toei and Bandai are trying to kill me.
Yikes.
Yeah, and AR is in the middle of the beginning of a.
It's all a plot.
Yeah, and AR is in the.
Yeah, the blizzard.
It's just starting for you, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, the blizzard hasn't actually come yet, but it's supposed to.
Yeah. So
I've been kicked out into the living room, or I've been kicked in. I've been kicked in the bedroom, which is why the Wi-Fi is not as good in here. Which is strange because we just upgraded our router.
Yeah. So me and May are both laid up, but we both have fantastic internet.
Yes.
AR is perfectly fine, but his internet isn't quite as good as it could be. So just be aware this one may be a bit iffy on all three of us being hearable.
Also, I've been taking codeine for the past week, and so that's fun. God damn, it's for pain.
So we have a lot to go over, and minus all of us talking about our issues, is there anything else to go over before we start?
Not that I'm aware of. Just straight into the new stuff, I guess.
Yeah. We've gone ahead and mixed in site news and breakdowns with the news because there's so much and it mixes together so well this time. So first up, we'll start with the sad news. It's been 2 years since Watakoji passed, and it's one of those things where last year and this year I both went, I don't know, should I really post about this? But it seems like people want to talk about it, so I did. And we got some neat photos and information from people, and I just don't know if there's anything to say about this at this point. Do you guys have anything to say?
It's just it is still really sad, but it's yeah.
I'm glad we're still getting tributes for it. It was nice that some of the stuff that we got across this month.
The tributes are nice. I would like the tribute CDs to end. It's starting. Yeah. It's less celebratory and more. How much money can we pull out of the corpse at this point?
It's just me, or is it like it seems to be it's not even every year we get a tribute. It's like it feels like every 6 months we get like the same release of the CD.
Well,
similar.
There was the DigiFest CD from 2016. Then they did where it was a different CD but with 2 covers last spring. Then they did a different DigiFest CD, which was officially just a Butterfly CD, not a Watakoji CD. Then they redid the first one with a different cover. And now we're getting the not a celebration, but it really is Try Part 6 End theme.
Which I like that. I like that as sort of
No. I like that one, but I would like that to be it for a reasonable time frame.
Yeah.
Because at some point it's starting to feel more like emotional manipulation rather than actually celebrating the guy. But moving from sad to fun, April Fool's Day passed. It was about 2 weeks ago, and we got some pretty good stuff.
I like the tri-poster.
The tri-poster is always gold.
Yes, the Sukumon Adventure tri-poster this is probably actually the best one. And I mean, I don't have much to say about it just because it's so fun and it's so obvious what it is.
Glowing poop.
Yeah. And then we got Kenji Watanabe drew an image for to celebrate Bakuraman Day, which it feels like it's a teaser that we should expect something, but no one's saying if it is or isn't. Because it's basically like a candy treat and you get stickers inside. So it feels like we should expect something, but who knows. And then the Digimon Realize Twitter posted a tiny little felt plush that a staff member made that it wasn't really an April Fool's joke. It was just them posting something for fun, but it feels like an April Fool's joke.
It's so cute.
Yeah, this is just trolling. Like, this is just
sad.
I feel like the thing to really say about this little plush though is the mouth is done perfectly. Like with such a sort of it's just kind of an amazing little thing, but it's fantastic. I really
the eyes
like
too.
The eyes, yes, but the eyes it feels like the eyes could have just been done separately and put on. The mouth looks like it was carved, sort of. And I just find it really interesting. But there wasn't quite as much as we've seen at some April Fool's Day past, and I'm kind of pleased with that. There weren't any people trying to do big jokes this year, I think because everyone was busy with contemplating the news and everything. But I still want to say that I'm not sure we've seen the last of the Bakuraman stuff. But we will see. And see, there's so much to go. We're kind of going through some of this stuff quickly because there isn't much to say. But next up, anniversaries for 4 different shows.
You mean 3 different shows? I'm only seeing 02, Tamers, and Savers. and a weird blur
don't-
in
oh,
between
don't-
Tamers and
Wow.
Sabers.
Oh, don't be so mean, man.
I'm
That'd be,
joking.
so 02,
I'm joking.
02's 18. Tamers is 17. Frontier 16, and Sabers is 12. Like, it still feels like to me that Sabers is like the new thing. And but yeah, nice anniversaries for all of them. I'm not sure there's much to say beyond, hey, look, anniversaries. And
I still
May say
would like
something.
an anniversary.
May-
Sorry, I would still like an anniversary IC or D scanner.
May say something nice about Frontier.
Frontier's alright. Like it's got interesting concepts. I feel like it could have done better. Like the legitimate like human versus beast thing is really interesting. Like they had some good concepts there.
I'm trying to think if AR dislikes any of these enough that he should say anything nice about one of them. I mean, I think you're reasonably
I
happy
don't-
with all of them, aren't you, AR?
Nah, Frontier's pretty crap.
Also, can we talk about that poster? Because JP is about to get hit by a train.
Yeah, they're all about to get hit by a train, but he's gonna get hit first.
JP's given up.
I could say some nice things about Frontier, but it is at the bottom of my list, along with Hunters.
Yeah, Savers is at the bottom
So-
of mine. Yeah, I don't think
I
there's.
like to say.
Hey,
I mean, should I? No. What would be really appropriate is if they talk smack about Frontier, I talk smack about 02, and you talk smack about Sabers. That would be a proper anniversary.
yeah.
tribute, but-
It's yeah. I already had to explain my dislike of Savers at the worst possible time. So
You're welcome.
yeah, no one saw the deer in the headlights look I had in my face. In my head, it's like fucking AR. When that happened. And moving on, I've started adding some older stuff to the gallery. It was very coincidental timing doing it, but the day before I was going to post something else. Wink, wink. At some point, I'm sure I'm going to be dumb enough to go back and rescan Adventure in the Movies, since I did those with my old scanner, and I don't really like how they look, though. Anything else to say about this, or shall we move on?
I'm good.
And not much to say here. KSM put up a trailer comparison video of Adventure, and would anyone like to guess what it looks like? I'll take that as a no. It looks exactly how we expected. It's the Japanese upscale, and German fans don't seem too happy because they all seem to have expected it. Is there any surprise here at all?
No, not really.
But we did get a fun surprise. We have the explanation for Hackmon and all of his evolutions of the names, which they've almost sort of kept these as secrets to some degree. So, Hackmon's name comes from an alternate reading of white being Haku, which that seemed to be the one that surprised people the most.
See, I was doing my I do wanikani to get my kanji better, and I was actually looking at the kanji for white like a couple of months ago, and I was like, oh, I wonder if that's like Hakumon, and then I was gonna post about it and I completely forgot.
Yeah, and Bao Hackmon feels like the only one that everyone was 100% sure of, was that Bao was from Blade King. I mean, that was one that we didn't know, but everyone sort of went, yeah, that's what it is. Saber/Savior Hackmon is roughly what everyone expected. It's that sort of pseudo where it's Savior, but it could also be Saver or Saber, and it, basically wordplay. And we finally got the letters for Jesmon, which we knew what the name was, just not what it came from. I don't think anyone picked Justice Edge Swordsman, though.
No.
The thing that bothers me is it feels like at least two of those were really obvious. Like Justice and Swordsman feels like we should have guessed those. Or at least like Justice and Sword.
I mean, his legs are swords, so.
he's kind of all swords.
Yeah.
Like if you touched his nose, you'd get cut.
Yeah, it's like how Gunjamon's made out of guns. He's made out of swords.
Yeah. And a lot of people do not seem happy with the Yesmon explanation. Like, there are people really, really upset about it.
Really?
Oh yeah, which is weird because we've known the name isn't Jesus for, what, like a year? It's not new information that it's not based on Jesus. But I think people were like hoping that Kenji Watanabe was just kind of screwing around, and now we know he wasn't. Not much more to say about that, but it's nice to get them, and it feels like it differentiates the two Hackmons a bit, even though they're effectively the same character, just different versions.
I think that's the same spelling, wouldn't it?
No, it's the same spelling. It's obviously meant to be the same character, but in the case of Atmon, we can really clearly point at not necessarily what the name came from, but what it's meant in the context of Atmon. It's meant to be hacking, which makes it a kind of easy there. And the next thing is something that I think you'll want to talk about quite a bit, May. We have a bunch. Yes, we have a bunch of figure news. So first up, they're re-releasing the first series of Digicall figures. May, do you know how to say this? Digicall?
I say Digicall.
I always say Digicall.
Yeah, I'm just going with Digicall. I don't have the energy to.
Well, it's meant to be call as in collection, so that makes sense.
Shortening of collection.
But yes. I just say it the it says how it's written.
I choose to believe it's a corruption. And on top of that, we have more. May, I believe you have all of the Capsule Mascot collection figures, and I assume you're getting all of these.
I already have it on pre-order from HobbyLink, so yes.
I have 3.
Which do you have, AR?
I have the Palmon, I have Lopmon, and I have the Koromon Bodamon.
Oh, sorry, I thought we were talking about the new capsule ones.
I meant the old Koei the ones they're the set that they're re-releasing between 1, 2, and 3.
Do you have
any? I already have all of those.
Do you have any of the capsule mascots, AR?
No.
Neither do I. I keep thinking I want to get them, but they keep falling by the wayside for other stuff. I like the 5 they've chosen this time, though.
It could be better.
It could obviously always be better, but I think these are 5 good choices in general.
But Airdramon, I felt like Airdramon was always, a pretty popular one.
He was, but
maybe that's just me.
But I feel like they're trying to layer on who they're including. Like, including Mememon at this point and Bodamon are sort of making it so you don't have a line of all, top choices. I mean, people like Bodamon and Mememon, but they wouldn't be early on the list for figures. Because you want to...
And we also have Darkmon. I like Darkmon. I've got a little time for Darkmon.
Do you want to explain that just so that everyone knows why we're giggling?
Okay, so in the English release of the original V-Pets, they didn't call him Devimon, I guess, because of a censorship thing. So they called him Darkmon. And
Saban just ignored it.
Yeah, and they're like, nah, it's Devimon.
That is one thing. That is one thing that I feel like we all do need to point out is Saban Entertainment had no issue just ignoring Bandai, Toei, and whoever else, often going with better names than they had picked. And they also put up some nice figures of the gem. Like, they went and photographed the gem figures and everything. Like, really just, gorgeous photos of them.
Yeah, these are nice.
Yeah. And some of them you can see the guy, laying on the stairs to get the photograph and everything, the angles. And I would like them to promote the figures by doing this more. Because these look... these are more expensive than the others too, so they kind of need to show them off more. Anything else to say about these figures? Or shall we?
Like them.
Or shall we go?
They're very nostalgic.
Yes. Now let us go on and gush about Digivolving Spirits.
Yes.
Number 6 is Atler Kabuterimon, and I mean, we saw the Tentomon mold a while back, but this just looks fantastic.
The Tentomon looks so good, and it for some reason reminds me of the Tentomon puppet from the stage play.
Some fans in Japan were demanding they remold Atler Kabuterimon because of the horrible, horrible mistake. There's too many arm segments.
I don't care.
Yeah, I remember telling you that, man. Your reaction was like, what? And it's like, yes,
Like, it's...
you have to like stare and actually count to notice the numbers off, but people were quite upset about it.
I think I mentioned this to you, Mark, but I know Atlas Kabuterimon is never, like, his design's never been consistent, even in the anime.
No.
Just in Adventure alone, he changes sizes from the size of a planet to the size of, like, maybe an adult.
That's apparently why some people are upset. Is the only thing that's been consistent is the arm segments. Is even if you look at Adventure and Try, even they apparently keep the same number there, which is probably more by chance than on purpose, to be quite honest. And the Diablomon festival's almost over, and they showed off another Kenji Watanabe signed figure. And the sad thing is we didn't have the space to show, but on the side he drew a little what's the name? Kuramon? Yeah, just like with the little squiggle to show him like squiggling around. And talking about Diablomon, I know me and May have this. I don't believe
it's the best.
I don't believe AR has any plans to get it, but the Diablomon figure is so good.
So good. It's my favorite. I wrote a little review, but it was more or less like, it was less of a review and more of a, this
gushing.
figure's so great. Like,
Yeah.
I just gushed about it. Like, I gave it 11 out of 10. Like, it's so good.
Well, here's the thing. It's basically been a recurring joke that anytime they announce a nice Diablomon / Diaboromon, however you want to say it, figure, we never see it again. They will show a prototype at a show, and then that's it.
Like remember there was a D-Arts one, I think?
There was a D-Arts. That later got reversioned into a Fig-Arts Zero, which is a non-posable little statue thing. And then that was it. And now we have just a fantastic figure. I mean, AR, do you have anything to say about this? I mean, I know you don't really have interest in figures that much, but anything to say about this one?
Not offhand particularly. It looks good.
Yeah, it's just neat to get it, and I still like that they went to such effort to make to reverse the box so you could face them off.
I love the boxes as well. Like, they're just really nicely designed boxes, and the art, and also I love purple. But and the clock, it's so good.
The weirdest thing about this one to me is the breath on the packaging looks legitimately like weird and creepy. But yeah, this one's neat. At some point, because we're not getting enough photos of them, I'm gonna pull them out and do photos. I'm not good at them, but at some point I'm going to. The other odd thing is sorry, go ahead.
I've been playing with them. Sorry, I've been playing with and posing mine and taking photos of it and just gushing over it and creeping at my housemate.
Now, May, just out of curiosity, because was your instruction sheet much nicer than the prior ones? Also,
I haven't really looked at it much,
okay.
But yeah, I did notice that it seemed to be a bit high quality. But again, I don't really intend to evolve any of them except for maybe Alphamon. Yeah,
like the first two was like that cheap, almost slightly better than newsprint instruction book, and this one was like really nice glossy paper. It really felt neat, and like you're saying, the clock is like nice, and when I opened mine up, the clock literally just tipped out. It's like cling, because that clock is 100% metal.
I love it.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and the stand holds both forms. They've like formed it just perfectly, and that face is creepy and perfect.
Yeah, and everything about it's just so nice. Like, it's just so good, and you can't. Like, for the other ones, you can sort of tell, like, especially for War Greymon, you can see it's got Agumon's head on his back.
Yeah.
But this one, you just can't, like, if you pose it the right way, like, you can't see that he's got, like, Keramon bits under his hands. And just, you can't tell that he evolves.
Well, that's like when we first saw the prototype, when they first announced the line, it's like, how's this figure going to transform when we first saw it? Because it didn't make sense.
Yeah, and it's really well done.
Yeah. Any more gushing to do about Diablomon before we move on?
I love him. I love him so much. I love Diaboromon now. He's my best friend. I love him. I'll fight for him.
Yeah. Now, still talking about Tamashii Nations. Some slight corporate changes with them. I don't think this really affects us much, at least in the short term. Basically, Bandai reforming the way their companies are formatted. Tamashii will now be under the Bandai Collectors Division. I don't think there's much to say about this. Anything from either of you guys?
Nah.
No.
I do like that the Collectors Division will be using a blue Bandai logo, though. It looks very nice.
I do like the blue.
Yeah. And moving on to... Well, this got everyone excited. I'm not sure how... the information in it is very exciting. My assumption, and I believe in general, you guys would probably agree with me, is any they're getting from anyone who isn't in Japan, they're just chucking.
Yeah, well, I guess they just assume it's harder for people outside of Japan to get access to it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, basically a survey for Digimon fans where they ask some very interesting questions. Like, they want to know, are you familiar with V-Tamer? Would you buy a V-Tamer Digivice 01 where you can raise V-Pets? They want to know our thoughts on X-Antibody Digimon. And then they ask about a bunch of theoretical products which feels like they've thought them out a little bit too much to be 100% just random questions.
The extent of the plush options you've got here is really strange. Like, there's some really unusual names on here.
Yeah. But I feel like they ask about, CSA D3, D-Arc, D-Scanner. I feel like the one that feels like they've thought out is the CSA Digimon Analyzer.
I'd really like that.
Because they're literally like, would you buy a CSA Digimon Analyzer voiced by Hiroyuki Hirata? And it's like, I don't feel like they just decided to list it with his name like that. If there's anyone that I feel like they have a plan for, it's that they actually listed that like that. And then re-releases of almost, not all of them, but almost every other V-Pet after the Pendulum. I think the one that people were saying was most oddly missing was the Progress.
That one's hard and I don't like it anyway, so... so hard. Yeah. Like, I tried to get Edgemon. It is so hard. And then you have to get to Perfect. It's so hard. It is so hard.
Yeah, and then like AR was saying, a bunch of different plush choices. I feel like the one that people feel like is the oddest, but it doesn't feel like it to me, is Lopmon. Because Lopmon, you can redo a Terriermon pretty easily.
Oh yeah, Lopmon's that's pretty easy. Like, I saw like Prince Mamemon on there. Like, what the heck?
I didn't notice Prince Mamemon, to be honest. That is an odd choice.
Yeah, that's all over the place.
Yeah. So if you had to pick one item from the stuff they listed, what would you guys each want?
The CSA Analyzer, probably.
I would have to look at all of the plushes and make a very hard decision, and I don't think I'm prepared to do that at this time.
Yeah. I would say it'd be the Analyzer for me also, because, see, I'm weird. I don't necessarily want to sit there and play a V-Pet or an adventure LCD game, but like a little prop thing that I can put on my desk and occasionally play with the sounds and lights, that I want. So I will take a little thing where we can scroll through different names just read by him. I would take that in a second. And lots of V-Tamer stuff, please. I think that's it about there, unless May has any other of the potential product.
Okay, I just saw Holy Dramon on here. That's the one I'm gonna go with. I'm just skimming this list and
that one actually doesn't shock me, because they could very easily take a Dragon Ball Shenlong and just tweak it a bit, and you could get a perfectly good Holy Dramon from that. Any other one of interest to you, May?
I really like the V-Tamer Digivice that runs V-Pets. That'd be pretty cool.
And now on to the Battle Spirits cards, which we're finally starting to see good art of. So we have the header images for both the booster and starter deck, and Imperial Dramon Paladin mode's art's great, and I don't know why, but I fucking love that Omegamon design. Like
Yeah.
it has to do with like the way the body is put together, where it's not quite as slim as they tend to do it. But like the head fits perfectly. And then we finally got to see art of some of the cards. Fighter mode looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a promo poster just earlier today, which we tossed the art on the cards, where you can see a very small Fladramon, Wargreymon, and Taichi. And I really hope they put up all the promo art like they did last time, because it just all looks fantastic. And we get a better look at the Omega Blade also. These come out May 26th, so a bit after Tripart 6 is out. I kind of want to get them, but I don't want to spend the money on the cards, really. But, like, the art's just so good. Like, if they did just an art book with all the Battle Spirits art, I would love that.
I would dig that. Like, I love the Battle Spirits art. Like, I still have the 1.5 box that I've been meaning to do an unboxing video, but I kind of want to get my flatmate to open it.
Do you think the weird thing is that anyone who's importing these is not playing the game? It's literally just the art.
Oh, it's totally just the art.
I'm sure there's someone who's trying, but I just like you like just want to get the cards and like frame them or something. Yeah,
I really want to learn how to play, but I have so much things to do and not enough time.
Now, talking about things that we won't play with, look at this fucking Erismon plush. Look at this fucking thing.
I want it so badly.
Man.
It's so cute.
They keep tempting us with Rear Eyes plushes that we're never gonna see.
Yeah, they made this Erismon plush specifically for promotional use, and it's just like the most amazing little perfect plush ever. And it's just like, and I want
to stop that.
I want
we're gonna be jealous of the plush more than we're gonna want to really play the game.
Now I want to say there's at least 2 of these, because it looks like the head's made out of different materials in some of the photos. Because, like, in one, it looks a bit more, like, foamy, sort of. But that could just be colors. And then they gave us information on Erismon that he is named after the French word for hedgehog. That there's a second hidden meaning that they won't tell us for now.
I have a guess.
Go ahead.
It's the Eris is also the name of the goddess of discord. That's where I'm putting my marker. As far as the story for this game.
So do you think that's why we haven't seen the ultimate yet?
Possibly.
Yeah, so we'll see. They mentioned that Erismon has double eyelids.
Yep, it's evil.
Yeah. Double eyelids always is evil.
It's actually evil. And
the staff seems really amused at all the fan art people have been posting of Erismon. Which we've gotten...
It's cute! Of course they are.
No, it is, but we've gotten, like, some great fan art, like, for a character who basically borderline does not exist yet. And they also give us some, they gave us some information on what people were generally calling corrupted Digimon. They're called spirals. They are not Digimon. They're beings that just take the look of Digimon, but they'll discuss those later. I guess the question is
it's just basically, let's have bad guys but use the same sprites as the good guys.
So what are the chances that Erismon isn't a Digimon, do you think?
It's probably a Digimon, it's just probably an evil one.
Imagine if he's an Atmon.
Or some sort of chaotic... There you go, it's an Atmon.
Yeah.
Done.
And they also hint that we'll see some throwbacks from older series in the game, which of course we will. It's a mobile promotion game. I still...
Yeah, that sort of confused me when they said that. It's like, of course we expect that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, announcing it sort of feels like something forced, like the Digimemories and Cross Wars.
Well, it's still odd.
The Digicards.
Well, it's still odd that we still don't know what the fuck the game is. Like, we've seen some RPG-style gameplay, but thus far we still don't know, like, is this a more premium RPG-type game? Is this just going to be linked to with a story? We don't really know what this is. And it feels more and more strange as we're going on. But who knows? It looks interesting, though, but I feel like there's a decent chance it might just be links to, and I just don't know how interested I'll be in that, even if we got it. I mean, are either of you guys really that interested in playing it, like, long term at the moment?
I still jump onto links every so often. Like it's not bad. Like I definitely would play a new Digimon links, but this
If
one seems
there's
to have like plot.
if there's a more involved story, especially if there's going to be some sort of usage of these characters, then yes, I'm going to play this through. Like if these characters are going to get some sort of development, I want to find out what's
Yeah.
going to go on with them.
Yeah, like at least give us some sort of like story through that we could do like they did in Heroes. That would work,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And moving on to Rearise, still being more and more confusing. The theme song's already out. Like, does
It's a
this
good theme song.
like does this not seem strange that we don't have like a release date for a game and the theme song's out? I mean, doesn't that seem strange to anyone else?
I guess. I think the timing is like it just feels like this is so imminent that it
Yeah.
doesn't really phase me.
Okay,
Like this is it feels like this is going to drop very soon.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
Yeah, and it's not like immediately like relevant to us since there's no word on an English release. I'd like there to be though.
They also released a full music video, which apparently is only geo-locked in the US and a few other countries. So, plenty of people can apparently go see it, just not me and AR. Maybe can. We're not sure.
I haven't actually looked at this, so
Yeah, I tried mirroring it. It vanished in like 10 seconds.
wow.
Yep, I have it.
Okay, so yeah,
Cool.
so it's just us.
I could download it and see if I could put it on my Dropbox if people wanted to watch it really badly, I guess.
Yeah, I think most people could jump on to a free VPN easily enough if they really want to. It's less a music video, and it's more the band
May's
standing
offering
and
to do the work here. Let's
Okay.
hear this out.
Everyone bother May. She will do it for you.
Yeah, I can do it.
I'll hit you up after the show.
Unless my YouTube downloader is not wanting to download it because of the area.
Yeah.
Oh, that's happened to me before on
Unless
region restricted videos.
I think I can just grab it from the source code probably though.
And then yet more music news. New albums from Amatsuki and Straightener will feature Digimon themes. I mean, the Straightener one will be the theme to Rearise. And it never occurred to me that other than the singles, Dive had not shown up on an Amatsuki album yet.
Now this is funny that the Rearise opening is coming. The album for the Rearise opening is coming out before the album for the first Atmon opening.
Yeah. Although to be fair, it did get like 4 different singles.
Sure, but still, that's funny.
Oh no, it's really funny. And of course they're doing 3 of them this time. And it really does feel like any time we think we're temporarily going to be done with Atmon for a bit, something will pop up. But
well, yeah, because we're all gonna do that fan dub, aren't we?
Ah, yes, of course.
Yeah.
See, the problem is people are gonna take that seriously now. Moving on from music. Okay, this is, I think, the oddest news that we actually have. A Talk and Meet event in April for the Tri-Stage Play DVD. Does this not seem like obscenely strange to anyone else? The DVD came out.
There's a sequel.
The DVD. That's where my brain keeps going. It's like will almost be a year from when they announced the first one, and then they didn't pull the announcement of it happening because it's been planned for a bit after I believe it was delayed from an event in January. But they announced like almost the entire cast, and then they ripped that announcement down after there was only going to be 1 or 2 people. So like, I keep trying to go, are they going to announce a new one? Are they going to announce a Blu-ray? It doesn't feel like it can just be a, hey, thanks for buying the DVD handshake type thing. It's been too long, hasn't it?
I don't know how these work. So I mean, especially if it was delayed from a previous
Well, that's the thing.
event.
That's the thing is we're not sure if it was delayed from a previous event or not. There was supposed to be one in January, but they don't. Minus looking up
'Cause-
photos that people took of them, they don't necessarily
Yeah.
tell what they're doing if there's nothing there.
Right, because the January would have been fine.
Yeah,
Like nothing would have been strange with that.
but it was also like there was only going to be, I think, Taichi's actor and Yamato's actor, and now they're announcing 5 of them, which for a random event it seems like a little too much. But it's one of those things where we can't really do anything but theorize, but it's hard to not go something's up. But I don't think we really have much to say about this, do we?
It's gonna happen pretty soon anyway. So what's
Yeah.
it? 1 week.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll know for the next podcast.
Yes.
So I don't think there's a whole ton of
No.
point in speculating too much.
They're gonna announce 10 new stage plays.
But it's sort of like Atmon. Any excuse to talk about it again
Yes.
is a good excuse.
Yes. And now for not necessarily fun news, but good news. Tribe producer Atsushi Suzuki is getting a new role at Toei where he will be running a whole new division whose primary job will be to focus on Dragon Ball projects.
Hey, I forgot about that art. I like that art. Thanks
Yeah.
for bringing that back into my head.
but it's so nice they're giving him a fancy new job after the failure of Try.
Yeah, it's like if my big takeaway is that it's a good sign that Toei's generally happy with the way things have gone with it.
Which is good.
Yeah. The last half of the podcast shows generally how well it's doing. When we get to them, when we get to them literally just like vomiting stuff at us. And now we have a bunch of small updates.
How dare you call Agumon?
Well, no,
small?
because the Agumon's gonna be the last part though, because the Crane game rubber keychains are out, the plushes will be out soon, and the pictures of them, the plushes are so good. Like I didn't consider that the hoods would come down. Namco's gonna do another one of their food photo contests, and now we can talk about what everyone really wants us to talk about: the Agumon car.
Yeah.
This is both the stupidest promotion ever and the best thing ever. Like, there are literally photos of people running and chasing the thing around Tokyo.
Yeah.
Where
Agumon car.
they put the Agumon suit in a little, like, political travel type van thing, blasting Butterfly, and just driving it around as Agumon's waving to people.
It's like he's the Pope.
Yes.
I was gonna say this is like loading the kids in the van in 02.
Yeah. And
Oh god.
but the best part though was seeing like it started in Shinjuku, I believe, and I see
Shibuya is where I saw the first photos, but
okay, yeah, Shibuya was the first one. Shinjuku was second. So it takes off from Shibuya, and they're people taking pictures, videos, and then it shows up in other places later. And I'm like, this is the same person as before. They're chasing it around.
it's like it was fun following him around town. It was like the radar that keeps track of Santa Claus's location on Christmas.
I know it was.
Huh.
And then it finished at the location from the end of Tri Part 1. Where Agumon, people were posing for photos with him, posing with other plushes with him. And, like, people were really excited about this because that is, like, the best suit ever. And it's just really fucking amusing. They just put it in a truck and just drove it around playing music. It's such a silly but fun promotion. It really seems like everyone just really loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't imagine a cheaper thing that you could do to promote it, like as far as cost. They rented a truck, they plastered some stuff on it, and they threw in an actor with a suit who stood there waving.
I'd totally do that job.
Yeah, I actually have done that job in parades before, but
But not as Agumon.
not as Agumon.
Do we have anything else? I guess the question is will we get a Gabumon car?
I don't know. Did I read it? They were gonna do this one more day, or did I misread that?
No, it was that.
It was just today.
It was just today, but who knows if it. It was taken rather well, so we'll see, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have anything else to say about the Agumon car rather than it was fantastic? I'll take that.
I only have it was fantastic to come out of my mouth regarding it.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
I know AR has it, and I have it. The US Blu-ray for Tripart 4 is out.
Yeah.
Is out soon-ish.
Yeah, I ordered through Shout this time, so I got the advanced copy.
Yeah.
With that nice poster. That poster is a nicer quality than I expected it to to be.
Yeah, Shout does nice posters.
Yeah, this is the first time I went through Shout, so.
Yeah. The only
I didn't really watch. I didn't really explore it that much. I transcribed a couple scenes for some people who are interested in how the dub handled some moments, but that's about all I really did with the discs.
Yeah, I went through it for the disc and then moved on because I just didn't have. It was one of those things where when I do the dub Blu-ray breakdowns, I write about the show, but it's like, I don't know, I've talked about it with Victor, I've talked about it with AR, with Mayround, then we talked about it with Jeff. I just didn't have much more to say about Tripart 4, so I sort of just linked the podcasts.
Yeah.
I mean, the discs are well done. They changed the menus a bit, which was interesting. But it's another competent, good release. And it's out in 10 days from now, I believe.
Yeah, one thing I did notice when I did it is that some of the closed captioning lines did mess up which characters were talking.
That's
been a recurring thing.
Yeah, that
hasn't quite been fixed. But
no, that hasn't been fixed, and I do not have the energy to do what I did with Tripart 2, which was I literally went through every single script there, line by line, looking for every single mistake, and I'm just like, I can't do that again.
Yeah, it was just one of the scenes that I was working on had, like Ty and Matt confused, for example, so...
Yeah.
It's still kind of a thing, but...
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, the overall release seems good. And... I'm trying to think... Oh, now I remember the other thing. So, May. Looking forward to Tripart 4.
Yep.
When you...
In, 6 months?
In the year 2525, May still has hope.
Oh God!
Unfortunately, May in this case
hoping that
it will not be May. It will be May's great granddaughter, May.
No, Mako. I just hope there's not as many errors on it as the chapter that we got, which was just it spoiled the movie, and it said it didn't read it loose, and I why? And it just the images on it just all pixelated. Just why? Why?
See,
why is it so bad?
May's breaking up the more sad she gets. Her anger is literally screwing up the internet. On top of that, we got a Tripart 5 digest.
I was gonna say her anger.
So sorry.
If I may,
that was probably the Dropbox.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it's like her anger breaking up the internet would have been the perfect segue to the Tamers audio discussion. It's a shame we didn't have that ordered that way.
No, it's ordered at the end so that we know how much time we have left, because we could talk about that for 5 minutes or an hour and a half. That's at the end.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes. So the Tripart 5
Okay, sorry. So
Yeah, still breaking up a little bit, but it happens.
I downloaded the
Yeah, you're still breaking up a bit, May.
Okay, it's because of the Dropbox syncing.
Yeah. So the Tripart 5 digest is out. Is there anything that shocking here? I mean, it's a 3-minute digest. It's basically what we expected. I watched it. I was happy. I moved on.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy watching these. If Crunchyroll translates it like they've done a couple times before, I'm definitely going to use it for my panel. It really works well with the music.
Yeah, does it feel like the Part 5 one has a bit more of a focus to it than the prior ones
Yeah.
have? Yeah, it's interesting though. I mean, I don't think there's much more to say about it though, is there?
No, no.
Okay. And I slightly redid the help with watching Try article. I don't know what more to say about it. I mean, basically buy Roku. May, did you want to try to finish off what you were saying about the Try Part 3 Blu-ray so we can see if you're coming in better?
Yeah, sorry about that. I've paused the syncing of the Dropbox.
Oh, it's much better now.
Yeah, I paused the syncing. So I downloaded the Rearise thing, and I'm just putting it on Dropbox so I could share. But it's my Australian internet cannot handle uploading very well. It takes, like, for example, like 80 megabytes. It will take about an hour to upload, and it will keep on restart. So maybe sometimes it takes like 2 hours. Anyway, what I was saying was the Part 3 Blu-ray that we got in Australia is just full of errors. Like the case itself, like it spoils the end of the movie by saying, and this is including the spelling mistake in it, will the Digimon regain their loose memories? And it's just and that's just that's a spoiler.
Yeah.
It's chapter 3 and they spoil it, and the images on the Blu-ray cover itself are all like pixelated, just pretty bad quality, and I'm hoping that whatever happened with chapter 3 we don't get with the other parts in Australia.
Maybe they just rushed doing chapter 3, because we even were saying that the schedule was really, really strange. Like, literally, you guys waited like half a year for part 2, and then part 3 was 2 weeks later. So, yeah. But, yeah, so, if you want to watch Try Part 6 and you don't have a TV setup, just go buy Roku. They're cheap and easy to use. I want to say, AR, were you using casting?
I was using an HDMI cord for the first couple movies. Last time I did it off the PS4 though.
Okay. And now for where the exciting stuff starts. The preview screenings for Try Part 6 have started, so spoilers are beginning to be out there. Bad, poorly written, and poorly translated spoilers. That for some reason everyone takes very, very seriously. Even though no matter how good the spoilers have been, we've always been somewhat surprised.
I've gone on about this before. I don't need to do it again.
Well, we all have. It doesn't change that people literally, like, the sky is falling about them. The first screening had Hanai, Hosoya, and Inoki there, all holding plushes of their partners, which was fantastic, and they were great little, like, poofy plushes.
So cute.
Literally right after that, they did a live stream with Hanai, Inoki, and Namikawa, which literally had no content at all. There was nothing there. It was not. I sat there and I watched the whole thing, waiting to see if there was anything I had to screen cap and post. There was nothing. It was like an hour and a half of them sitting there.
They're just talking about the movie as vague as possible?
Generic vagaries, answering random questions, and for whatever reason, they kept going to Inoki on camera, and then he would pose for the camera. Like they're doing close-ups of him, and he doesn't know why, so he just poses.
Sounds good. I would like to see it.
I believe...
And you didn't screen cap that? Come on.
I took screen caps. I couldn't be bothered to put anything up because there was nothing there.
We want posing. We want posing.
And then they announced another Part 6 screening on April 20th, but this one's a bit odd. They're doing Parts 4, 5, and 6, and Part 4 will have guests there to do live commentary.
Do the whole thing?
Just for Part 4. It will be director Motonaga, Kenshi Watanabe, production member Shinichiro Ueda, and producer Yosuke Kinoshita. So they will literally be doing there to do a live commentary for Part 4. I hope they're recording it, is all I have to say. Do you think we will get any sort of useful information from that? I take the silence to mean no.
It's
I
weird
think
if
I've
it's
stopped
only,
caring.
if it's only for part 4. I'm not so sure. I mean, maybe I guess we'll get some background details on some things.
Well, see, that's what I find
the
interesting.
problem is it's sort of like it's before it's out publicly, so it's like.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm more interested in getting a follow-up interview. Like, that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
A live commentary for part 4 of all the movies doesn't really do a whole lot for me.
Yeah. And now we begin where they just like.
So is this marathon gonna be? They're gonna do 4 with the commentary, and then they're gonna show 5 and 6
Yes.
afterwards.
Yes.
That's an intense. That's a long night.
Yeah, and it starts like at 11 p.m. So it gets out at like 4:30 a.m.
Yeah. That's that reminds me of the first time I tried to watch Lane at an anime convention. That was a fun night. Spiked through the whole thing. It was great.
And now we move on to the insanity that is the promotion of Try. So first up, they've announced the theatrical goods first. They're doing less this time, but it feels like there's less crap. I mean, 70 items is still a lot. This is what's going to be in the theaters when people go to see Try that they can buy. I'm not going over the list. Is there anything specifically of interest that you guys see?
I can't remember which one it was.
I probably like the smartphone holder or the tote bag of all of those. Those are the ones that really jump out at me as the ones I'd really like.
I still kind of want the pamphlets to scan. Although I gotta admit that Patamon tote is really fantastic looking.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one was the one that I really liked. I know there was one of them. I'm trying not to get too much like last time.
Last time, I just vaguely recall you saying you got like multiple boxes last time, didn't you?
Oh yeah, got huge boxes from Japan.
Like you just went nuts last time.
Oh yes, the Gomamon and the glasses case, which is, by the way, amazing. I love the glasses case.
Yeah, I know some people were really sad about the price of the parka.
Oh yeah, the parka's the one that I want.
Oh good, May, you can spend $140 on it.
Yeah, I'll do it. It's fine. I'll die, but it's fine.
Yeah, there's the weirdest thing here to me is, and this is the amount of confusion these have caused, the CD-shaped memo book.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It is a tiny notepad where the cover is square, and it looks like a CD cover, and the pages are CDs, and they promotionally have shown them with one page starting to come out, so everyone's like, what the hell are these new CDs? There's no information.
Taichi released a CD.
Yes.
Because that's his character.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, Yamada's wearing the goggles. Also, I'd like to point out that the price of the parka is actually 180 Australian dollars. So with postage, that'll be over 200.
Wow.
We'll have photos of May's new parka in the next few weeks.
I want a camera. I want you to live stream you buying this so we can see your face when you hit that confirm button.
Yeah.
The tears mainly.
And moving on from so many products, we get new artwork, which again,
this is a break. This is like the halftime break of the product section.
I tried to give us little breaks in between stuff. So the new Animedia has some great art of Yamato and Sora reaching for goggles.
Oh, I love this art.
Sora's the new gold.
I have
was the gold kid in Savers.
I have one issue with the art. Gabumon does not look like he knows where he is.
Gabumon never looks like he knows where he is.
I know.
It's like art for Try.
I know, but it's really noticeable this time. Like, Piyomon looks really serious. Sora looks really serious. Yamato looks stressed out and serious. Gabumon looks like he's going, did I leave the oven on?
I really hope this is still on stands when I get to go to ASEN so I can buy this one.
No, you could always order it online if it's that important, because it's still around.
It's not important enough to justify the shipping costs.
Okay,
but,
okay, that makes sense.
Be nice.
Now,
yeah.
back to more promotion stuff that they. Can we just point out, like, Thursday was a really busy and tiring day for stuff that I had to do for the site. I was half asleep the whole day. I got in bed, which at an exceedingly early time for me, and I'm playing around on my phone just before bed reading. And I'm like, I'll check Twitter before bed. I'm like, okay, they put something up. I'll go do it. It'll take half an hour. I get up. I go. I start looking around. I'm like, what the fuck did they do? They literally threw up like 6 things in the course of like half an hour. If 2 of these were released on the same day, it would be a huge week.
I've made it a point to get up a little earlier on Friday morning just to see what they threw out at us overnight.
I know, but
I was still almost late to work.
But what I mean is I'm normally up late enough that the 1 or 2 things they throw out, I'm able to put together without any issue. This almost killed me. Like, I was throwing it together at such a pace, I wasn't even sure it was coherent when I went to sleep. I got up and I'm like, oh, this is actually readable. I don't know what happened, but like, they threw up 6 things in half an hour. If they had done 1, it would have been any one of these would have made it a huge Friday. It's just insane. So moving on to, the first one was, of course, the theatrical goods. Moving on to the next one. They announced Try will be back at the King of System karaoke chain May 1st to August 5th. They're only showing the goods and the artwork for now, which, not good shots, mostly artwork, but it's great. It's all of them painting.
Mm-hmm. I hope we get better images of these, because it looks fun.
Yeah. We get the little acrylic keychain. The little hexagon. Have they only been using the hexagons at King of System? Because I don't think we've seen these elsewhere. Can badges.
Check.
And a huge canvas piece of art for basically $30. That's basically bordering on 9x11. Like, that's the huge thing that you want to get, basically.
I think one of the original ones used squares.
Okay.
Instead of hexagons, so.
Yeah, but like the arts. King of Systems also had the weirdest drinks, so I'm curious to see what comes up there. The other ones were like, this is coffee, but we've also thrown in cherry blossom syrup and then put a strawberry on top. On hot coffee, and it was like, okay, so we'll see what else they come up with. I assume there'll also be karaoke contests and stuff again. Moving on to another little product break. The cover for the theatrical Blu-ray and the new version of Butterfly.
So nice.
The Butterfly cover's great. The theatrical cover, I wasn't sure which actual image they would use. I'm glad they used this one with the color because it really looks fantastic.
Yeah, I think the inverting this one would have probably been a better choice than trying to mess with the other one. Like, the other one, just the way it sits, the way it is now, it works. I'm not sure if the inverse would have been it would have popped quite as much.
Yeah. And damn you, Toei, for not translating Digimon Shinkers into some sort of English pun and just going with Digimon Singers. And the CD will be released on May 2nd. And I feel like this one's going to be imported by a lot of people. What do you guys think about the art, the CD?
I agree.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people are going to get the limited edition that will include the paper jacket and a mini poster. And is there much more to say about this one, actually? Because it's odd, because, like, we have the song and everything, so I'm not sure there's much else to say.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason to justify keeping that up right now, that slide up, would be to just so we can look at it a little more.
Yeah.
But we should move on.
Shiny art, move on. We got a preview of the first extra we know of for Try Part 6, which is basically them putting together official Evo clips with the music synced up properly. And I mean, it's the type of thing where people have wanted that type of thing. You alive, May?
Yeah, sorry, we just had a spider. I had to mute the microphone for a bit.
Yeah, I believe the message said you were chasing it around with a vacuum.
Well, yeah, we
How big are the spiders in Australia?
No, like this one was like not like it's not a huntsman or anything because it's this one was big and I don't want it. It was.
Okay, I'm gonna have to Google a picture of a huntsman at some point.
Oh yeah, no, that huntsman's apparently really nice. Like they don't bite you, but it's very scary.
Okay. Yeah. So May, we're on the Part 6 extra where they're doing the evolution clips.
I like evolution clips.
Yeah.
I want more Palmon and Rosemon.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, the huntsman. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that one wasn't a huntsman. It's probably like half the size of a huntsman, maybe. But
half the size of it's good, bad enough. That's
I killed the last one, so it was my flatmate.
The last one ever?
No, the last one, as in the last one that we had in the apartment.
Okay.
But so this time was like last time I had to chase it around the apartment with a Doc Martin. This time we used a vacuum cleaner.
Moving on to more.
I need to visit a weapon shop and upgrade.
Moving on to more announcements. They announced the Tokubon and the theater gifts.
I like that that pretty much just ended the conversation about the evolution.
Well, it's more in the sense that we have so much to talk about. I don't think anyone wants a 4-hour podcast.
The only thing I would add is like this is proof that people are really into evolution sequences. That's all I had to say about
people have always wanted like official clips of them, and they're finally going to get them. So the Tokubon's going to be on April 27th. They're only doing one this time because they did the live stream. They're doing all types of other promotions. I kind of like that they're only doing one because when they did two, it always felt like they didn't have much to talk about on one of them. And we also have the theater gifts for the first 3 weeks. We have a special postcard. Then week 2 is 3 postcards. And then week 3 is 2 different drawings by character designer Uki Atsuya. Have you been...
always fun. These are always fun when we get to see them.
I want to say, May, have you been importing these?
The theater goods.
I think so,
I'm not sure.
I think you got some of the drawings from some of the staff, didn't you?
No, I didn't get that. I might have taken a picture of some because I saw some at Amanda Arcade in Nakano.
Okay, that may have been it then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you think we'll get anything worthwhile in the Tokubon that they've not just thrown at us lately?
I've never actually watched any of the Tokubons because like I think they're fairly late at night. Like I go to bed early anyway.
The single most worthwhile thing we've gotten from a Tokubon is for the Part 3 one, the drawing from Inoki of Patamon going feral. Which was the single most hilarious thing we got. Because we also could not share it because it was a spoiler. So that's it for that. And moving on to yet more promotional stuff that they're just throwing at us. We have all the artwork for the final cafe, and everyone looks so fantastic.
So cute.
And they've once again upped the number to 5 stores. They're doing both the relaxing cafe time and the more energetic party time this time around. The theme feels both amazing and very lazy. Like some of the prior ones, like they had full stories. This one, it's Taichi and the others are holding a party for the fans. Woo!
I like it.
I want to go to a party they're hosting for the fans.
Oh no, so do I. But like they wrote like actual like pseudo stories last time. Like the Digimon are all here. They're there. Here it's just party. Woo! And they've given us and because they're starting soon, we have the Part 1 menu, the full drink menu, and all the little exclusive products they're going to throw at us. And by us, I mean May.
Yeah, that mug.
So, let's start with the food. the food looks disgusting, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
The butterfly one looks.
The butterfly
okay.
looks
The
terrible.
carbonara.
Okay, the
about it.
digital world is blue curry. Now, as I've explained, me and Justin put together the cards, so I tell him one's curry and the order to put them in because the order will end up discussing them. He's like, I don't really see one with curry. I see the pasta, I see the ice cream, and then there's some weird dish with rice and leaves on a blue plate. I'm like, look again, that's not a blue plate. That's curry. And he's just like, and he's like, ugh.
The train.
Yeah.
You're eating the train.
Yes.
I'd eat it.
And then the carbonara, which they call butterfly, which has nothing to do with butterflies, minus that they've cut ham in the shape of butterflies and put it on there.
I like it.
Sure, why not? That's.
And
I mean, yeah.
And the Chosen Children is a layered dessert where they've just thrown in things of different colors that match the kids, and it doesn't look that bad, to be honest. It just doesn't look like anything I want.
This sounds like somebody just had a
Went
really
nuts.
nasty time at the toppings part of the Froyo store.
Yeah, that's actually what I did when I went to a Froyo store. I just grabbed all the toppings and put them on, and kind of disgusted my flatmate. Because it's one of those things where you pay by the weight, and so I put everything on like I could, and it was like it turned out to be like $20 or something. But it was like,
Nay, why?
I wasn't specifically talking about you, but if you want to volunteer for the job,
yeah,
then...
my flatmate almost kicked me out.
This is that parfait is May's trip to the Froyo place.
Yeah.
This is what May is going to recreate.
Yeah.
Now I have to say this is the first time where it feels like the drinks are not disgusting. Like there's no
the drinks look okay.
Like there's no weird yogurt drinks or things where there's only one drink I don't like, and we'll get to that when we hit it. So
the drinks almost feel kind of weak now.
Well,
compared to the crap they throw in it before.
No,
it's probably fine. But...
See, you know what I would think? The drinks actually look drinkable rather than just being, hey, this is character themed.
Yeah, you're drinking like soda water instead of syrup.
So let's start with the first, because this one is going to be there the whole time. Taichina Agumon's Mango Soda. Basically, it's mango jelly at the bottom of a glass of cider, which is basically like a weak Japanese ginger ale. It's not actual cider or non-alcoholic cider. Basically, like I said, weak ginger ale or 7-Up or Sprite. And then they throw an orange, whipped cream, and some green pearl sugar candies on it. I do like the glowing effect the jelly creates. And I love the coasters. Yeah. The coasters they're doing for all the drinks are fantastic.
I want the mini one so badly. It's so cool.
Does anyone else like that they actually went to the effort to do the D3 ones? Because I was
going to say that. Yeah, they actually did the D3 designs for Takira and Hikari.
That.
Although they are
get a second cut design.
Although oddly, they are not the higher evolution color versions. Because in Tri the colors invert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice that, but no, you're right.
Sora and Piyomon strawberry drink, strawberry syrups mixed with grape drink, and they love throwing whipped cream on this stuff, and strawberry ice cream, and the little Monoka shaped like Piyomon's tail. Does Patamon seem lazy to anyone else?
Yes.
They mix lemonade with soda water, sprinkle on gold pearls, whipped cream, and Patamon wings. I want to say they have used the Patamon wings in like 3 other dishes. Like, didn't they use those on a burger or something?
They're so distinctive that, like, anytime you go to one of these, you sort of just want something with Patamon wings.
Now,
I think all of the ones have had those.
Yeah, and is this the first meat? Sorry, go ahead.
They're getting rid of their extra ones because there's no more. They're like, oh, we still have those.
Yeah, now
these are all the old ones that didn't sell.
Is this the first Mimi dish that actually looks good?
I like all the Mimi dishes.
Yeah.
No, some of the Mimi dishes were weird. Like it was a dessert, and you'd also get bacon and asparagus.
Yeah, because that's so Mimi. Like that's Mimi.
Yeah.
They're trying to control the because everyone's gonna want a Mimi coaster, so you gotta control that.
This is green apple aid, which they put under soda water, and they top with mint whipped cream, silver pearls, and edible flowers. And I like how the flower looks like the one from the top of Palmon's head.
This is probably my favorite one.
It is, but now let's move on to my least favorite one. Joe and Gomamon's grapefruit and berry drink. I don't have an issue with the theme. They've tried to get that gray-purple color, and it just looks kind of sickening to me.
Yeah, this is a hard one for me.
I totally get it. Like, it looks nice.
They take grapefruit syrup, strawberry syrup, blue curacao syrup. They mix it with white water, which is already kind of like a milky soda. They top it with blueberry cheesecake ice cream, whipped cream, and diced strawberries. I like that they're emulating, like, his head. But just, like, the look of the soda itself does not look appealing. What is appealing, though, is what they've done for Gabumon. I mean, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Where they take the cider and they take some blue pineapple jelly, they put the ice cream on top, and then they put the little cone on it. Tentomon's, they also sort of emulate him. Does it weird that, like, what happened to all the... Should it be like oolong syrup? It's violet syrup under soda water with ice cream, edible beads. Shouldn't there be oolong tea here?
I guess they gave up with the theme.
Have they've done oolong with him before, haven't they?
Yeah, quite a few times. It just feels weird. It just feels weird. Like now, it's just literally violet. It's like, okay, it's purple. His color's purple, so that's what the drink is.
Yeah, mixing it up a little bit. I can see that.
Hikari and Tailmon's grapefruit drink. They put pink grapefruit syrup under white water, topped it with a pear sorbet whipped cream, and they gave it little white chocolate cat ears, which I kind of love. Meiko and Meikumons is mango jelly mixed with cider and orangeade, basically. Topped with whipped cream, green. They say green pearls, but I don't see it there. Mint, and then they sort of drew her little tail symbol with chocolate.
That is really nice.
Yeah. And for every 1,000 yen, you get a bromide print of the art, which is fantastic looking. And then they announced all the products, which we have keychains, can badges, acrylic. The acrylic stands, I actually like that they did those again. Those were nice last time. The clear files, the mug, which everyone seems to want very much, which is butterfly themed.
I love that mug.
And the Shan Marie bottle set, where Shan Marie's like a kid-friendly mock champagne, where it's that, a little butterfly charm, and a bromide print. I think the Shan Marie is what the complimentary drink is for party time, that they're not telling anyone what it is. It's just a yellowy liquid. And do you think the Part 2 food menu will be edible? I mean,
going off the Part 1, no.
More colored curries, that's what I say.
Oh, God.
What about Mimi's pink curry?
Yeah, I would like the color of the food to represent what the food should be. Moving on to yet more products. They're doing a limited time pop-up shop at the Shinjuku Marie Annex. Did they do this for Part 1 or 2, I think? Like,
it sounds familiar, but it's hard to keep track of all the stuff they do.
We're not going to go over all the products here. A lot of it's stuff that's showing up elsewhere. And, I mean, the primary one that has people excited are Series 3 of the acrylic split-apart card stands with some very, very good character choice. People seem very pleased that there's a Miyako one.
Yeah, it's funny that you look at the characters who are on this one and you go, of course they were going to do a Series 3. How can you forget all of these people?
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if we get a Series 4 and 5 even.
Which will probably have the same effect.
Yeah.
Like you'll get to Series 5 and you go, of course they have to have Tomoki.
But I like how some of the choices are like how it's Koshiro, but specifically from the movie.
Yeah.
And, like, you can even see him, it's like him literally running from the beginning of the film. And then you have Atmon mixed in there. Gumdramon's there. I mean, Gumdramon...
Yeah, Gumdramon's another one that was like, yes.
Yeah, we need more Gumdramon. And I think a few of these products, I think May has them. Like didn't you get that
yeah,
tote
maybe a
bag?
couple. Hang on, I'm just
Have-
opening it up again because I just closed it. Oh yes, the pic. Is that the pixel art one?
No. It's
What?
the May probably has some of this stuff. Let's just go with that.
Have
So-
they done an iPhone case with the pineapple design before?
I
No,
want
but I love it.
I want
Yeah,
to
that was-
I want to say they have, but it was more of like a hard plastic cheapy one. It didn't look
Okay.
quite as nice, and it wasn't for like current phones either.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, that's one thing they kind of have to stay updated with.
Yeah. They've never done it before. They are only doing it now because the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 8 can use the same case. But they did do one for the X, which is nice.
I wish they'd do one for like the Google Pixel because that's what I have now.
The
It
problem
just
is,
seems appropriate to me that pineapple and apple seem to be like the correlation. So
Yeah.
of course it's only going to be for the iPhone.
oh no,
Yeah,
they
no, I do like that one.
they've done Android cases. The problem is to get a wide.
No, I'm not. No, fine. I'm fine with Android. Just specifically this pineapple design.
Yeah.
Like that has to be for iPhones.
Well, they did the Universal ones, but they just weren't that good. Like I don't know, they don't because they're Universal. They're just
Yeah.
they weren't so good.
Yeah, so this will be May 2nd to the 22nd at the first floor event space at the Maru Annex. And the issue with anytime we see a store like this is the list of stuff they put up is never all the store has. So we will see what other interesting things might pop up.
Mm-hmm.
And back to more food stuff. They announced Animate Cafe, since it's already scheduled up. They announced that they're doing a food truck called the Digimon Kitchen Car, and the art for this is so fucking good.
Oh, yeah.
It's the 27th through May 20th with a preview day on the 26th. It's going to be in front of the Animate Ikebukuro, and they announced the drink menu and the product menu. And the products look great, the food looks, the drinks look interesting. I feel like I could live with all the drinks except the second one, which just kind of makes me queasy.
It looks
Yeah.
a little bit like vomit,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So each
but
of
it probably tastes really nice because I love matcha and I
Well,
love
That
matcha
is-
ice cream.
It is technically the Mimi drink.
I think it's just a matcha ale. It's just matcha powder mixed with milk, I think.
It's fun-
So it
it's
probably
fun that
tastes
they're
really nice.
But
Yeah,
the
it's fun that
problem,
they're going off of each of the movies instead of going with each of the
yeah,
characters.
the problem is throw in some like green food coloring to make it a brighter green color, because it's just kind of like this sickly looking gunk.
Mm.
Yeah, so each of these is themed after one. I mean, I don't think we need to go through the exact drinks. Why don't we each pick one to go through? How about?
One what?
Why don't we each pick one drink to go through rather than us going through all of them? AR, why don't you
Oh.
go first?
If I had to choose, I'd probably go with the Lost drink, the strawberry mojito.
That feels like the easy choice for not getting sick.
It seems like the safe one, yeah.
Yeah. So May, you can't pick the safe choice. What would you go with?
Chapter 5 sounds nice.
No, you stole the easy one.
I mean, something about like from Chapter 5 has to be good, right?
I was gonna say, like, are we just gonna pick our least favorite movies? Is it gonna be our favorite drinks? That's how it's gonna.
Got the rest of them all sicken me, to be honest. I guess 6.
Yeah, that one doesn't seem too bad.
Yeah, because like I don't want the milky soda drink. I don't want the matcha ale. I don't like energy drinks. I'm stuck with peach juice, which I don't like either. But it at least is the one that I would most likely be able to actually drink.
Also, is it just me or does when I saw the part 5 one, I actually thought that was Wario's symbol flipped upside down.
Yeah, I think I may have thought the same thing.
Wario.
Is Pokemon Wario?
I could make an argument.
Wah.
I bet give me an hour, I can come back and explain to you why Maykumon is Wario.
Now the problem is for the rest of the show, I'm just going to randomly be making Wario noises. Wario.
Think this is gonna have to be the podcast title now.
Yeah, it's literally just me and May going Wario. So the drinks each come with a random coaster of the art and the acrylic keychains. This is the best look we have at the art, which because they put up.
Oh yeah.
Wait, Wario. No, sorry, my flatmate's asked me. I really like Mimi's hoodie.
Yeah,
Can
I like
is
all
this
of
something I
them.
can buy?
Yeah, Mimi's is
okay. I like all of them, but I need to point out, Sora and Mimi's headgear doesn't work when you consider that these are hoodies. And why is Takaru wearing a fucking hat? It's a hoodie. He doesn't need the hat. And the same goes to
Takeru. He always needs a hat.
I know,
He'll wear a hat with a hood.
but like multiple characters do have hats, but it feels like weirder with him because the ears would literally stop the hoodie from going up.
You're from California. I'm from Wisconsin, and yes, you will sometimes wear a hat and a hood at the same time. This is a totally legitimate fashion choice in Wisconsin. We're getting hit with a blizzard in April, I will remind you.
Okay. So, okay, everyone, I mean, May already said her favorite was Mimi, and it's actually really hard to argue with that, but AR, which is your favorite?
I have to pick someone else.
No, you can pick Mimi.
Yeah, it's Mimi.
Mine would be Mimi or Sora. For some reason, I like Sora's because it's just different than everyone else's. Like, she's the only one that, minus Takaru and Hikari, who don't have a zipper. Well, I guess Mako does. And see, I'm looking at them all so detailed, I'm actually missing details. Although I do like Takaru's, Koshiro's hat.
But my question is, are they going to actually sell these hoodies?
No, they will not.
That's what I want.
But I guarantee you people are already working making them.
Oh yeah, I've already seen people saying they've ordered cosplay materials for these.
Yeah.
Can I commission someone? Because I can't sew for shit, but I would like to commission someone for Mimi. So if you are able to do Mimi's, fucking hit me up, bro.
Mimi's feels like the actual hoodie would be the easiest because there doesn't look to actually be any Palmon design stuff there. It's just a green at the bottom, purple at the top with the lines.
Yeah, I love it. And I could wear it in public and like no one would know. Like there are tons of like Digimon fan made hoodies and stuff, and like I'm like I'd like this, but like I can't wear it to work. Yeah. Like it's too obvious that it's a thing. The Mimi one's just like, oh, it's purple and green.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're also doing can badge. Sorry, go ahead, AR.
No, I was gonna say I'm agree with that. That's probably why I like Mimi the best. Yeah. Like it works outside of looking like a cosplay.
Yeah. Then we have the can badges, which I don't dislike the can badges, but when you see like the full body shots from the keychains, it's hard to go, oh yeah, the can badges are great. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
The clear file set looks nice. I like the one with the crest where they're all overlaid slightly. I don't know why I like that design, because there's nothing special about it. It's just kind of neat to me. The cookies with printed icing. I don't know what to say about these. They're overpriced cookies. I mean, do you have anything to say about these, AR?
I hope that they're again not using leftover material from years before.
No, yeah, I was gonna say that they've done these before, but these are new designs. We can see the labels are actually different. The water bottle is very basic but nice. I like the little Digimon kitchen car logo, which I don't think we've mentioned because it's so small it's easy to like forget. But it's neat. I believe May's filled up on Digimon water bottles at the moment.
I really like this water bottle. I really like the water bottles. I already have a Palmon and Agumon one, but I really like
them. Well, and you also
have... I'm not doing all of them.
Don't you also have one from the real world?
Yeah, those are the real world ones. The Palmon and the Agumon ones.
The mobile device battery that they love to do with a different label every time.
Yeah.
The tapestry of the new art it's painful how much this costs because I actually do kind of want it. I mean, even May, I don't think you're gonna import. It's gonna end up being $130 to import this tapestry.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah. And then for every 2,000 yen you spend, you get a postcard of the 6 poster art plus the initial Taichin Agumon art and the train car art, which we've seen a million times on multiple postcards. And Victor thanked us because of how many of the postcards he sold last time.
I would have bought one too, but like postage was like $25.
Well, it's funny. Like when I threw up the podcast, and AR even noticed it, Victor was like getting confused why so many people were showing up to buy them.
I like that he already had an eBay listing for it. Like, he was prepared.
Well, he threw it up before because before what he was doing was he was just posting randomly on Reddit or Twitter for people to message him.
Sure.
I think the idea here was...
I mean, it makes total sense that he did. It's like, he was ready for it.
No, it was just...
pretty awesome.
But it was just,
I got mine.
But it was just funny, though, because he was like... He really had no clue why all of a sudden there was, like, a run on them. It was like, oh, no, we told people to get them.
He can leave the podcast. The podcast won't leave him.
Yes. I mean, this is a very neat... I like the idea of the kitchen car in general. I think it will work. I think it works in general. I don't like that matcha drink. I understand why they're doing it because it's kind of a cheat. You only need the powder and milk. But please mix in food coloring or something if that's going to ever come back in the future. And now we get to talk about where May will start to sob.
May always sobs.
They announced the 5th Try pop-up shop, and because they're nuts, they announced the products at the same time. So first, let's go over the art. It's fucking amazing. I mean, there's been so much art this time. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, this is really good. And I also noticed, is this the first time they've actually shown Rastielmon in conjunction with Try, like on a poster or something?
Regulmon?
Is it Regulmon?
Yeah.
I thought it was...
It's the cat head Optimus one.
Okay.
At least that... I mean, yeah, I zoomed in. That's definitely Regulmon. That's not Rastielmon.
Okay.
The other weird thing is some of the Digimon, they're not drawing in the Try style. Like, if you look at War Greymon, there's certain Try flares on him, but, like, the head looks more, like, classic-y. And the art of Holy Dramon does not have the DNA tail. And also, there's something weird about Seraphimon's face, but I can't figure out what it is.
I can't get in close enough to see it.
Very small.
It just looks like the mask has been redesigned. So the art's fantastic. It's going to be at the Ikebukuro Piparco Limited Base Shop, and at the new one at the Namba Mirai in Osaka, which... Did we talk about that the first show of the year, I think? Where the Nakano one closed and they moved it?
Yeah.
This shop they're keeping open a long time, April 27th through the May 30th. And the products are, and let's go through these quickly, and you guys can just give thumbs up or thumbs down. How about, unless you have something to actually say about them? The Holy Bangle.
I like it, but like the price is not fun.
The Angemon staff ear pick.
What the fuck is an ear pick?
Yeah, this is just a shrug. Like, this is thumbs.
You know, So you know, people constantly want to know, like, is there news that I don't post? The ear pick actually is one of them because it was there with the last pop-up shop. They just never put it up or sold it, apparently. Like, there was artwork of it. I didn't know it was an ear pick. I thought it was like a pen or something. I figured it was a canceled item, so it was never really worth mentioning, because what am I supposed to say? There's a photo of a vaguely Angemon staff thing with a screwdriver at the end. I guarantee
500 yen for that too. Jeez.
My understanding is earwax is different in Japan, so they do take it very seriously.
It must be a hell of an ear.
Yeah. The new can badge art, where the artwork is clearly like meant to be a take on the first poster.
Why are two of them really inconsistent? We've got
Yamato
looks completely different, and Koshiro's got in training, and everyone else has got child.
I feel like the idea was they wanted it to be small on his. So rather than like trying to shove Tentomon as small as possible, they went with Mochimon for some reason.
And why is Yamato's red? That one, it's really annoying. It's inconsistent.
Well, no, the red one's the 10th one. That's only
like
for
the bonus one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's in a theater.
Like like the movie theaters will have the same set, but the 10th one will be different.
Okay, no, I do. I kind of do like that he's in a movie theater. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I thought he was just falling and the sky was red because he's
No,
terrible
no,
or something. I
no.
don't know.
I think what's supposed to have happened is it's a scary movie and Patamon and Tailmon scared them and took their popcorn. But yeah, the artwork on all these is fantastic. Like it's like some of the best try artwork we've seen on stuff.
Mm.
And then okay, these are the nicest acrylic stands we've seen, but holy hell are these expensive. These are almost $30 each.
Mm.
I mean, they better look fucking nice when you consider the price. And
I
now
like the roast one.
and now the best thing ever. Everyone loved the little tiny plushies they did. They're not doing more of them that they've announced this time, but they've done little coats for them that turn them into keychains.
I want these so badly. They're so cool.
How many of the plushes do you have, May?
I have all of them.
Okay, so May will do a photo breakdown in a few months of all 8 coats.
Probably if I'm able to get them.
Yeah. This next one, me at roughly 4 a.m. trying to figure out what the fuck these are. Finally searching, they're basically soy sauce dishes.
I want them. Wish there was a Palmon one.
Maybe you'll get lucky and they'll end up being extras.
I hope so.
No, the next item is the one that I thought of where I thought of May when I was putting up was the more color changing mugs showing evolution this time.
I love these mugs.
Yeah, these
but
are great.
Again, there's no Palmon one. So I'd probably get the one with Holly Drummond because she's a good dog.
Yes. Would you say she's best dog?
She is best dog.
You heard it here first. May hates Garurumon.
Oh, Garumon's alright, but Holly Drummond is like a,
okay.
like a dog dragon.
Now, okay. Even more than the mugs, this next one is where I went. Oh, for some,
this.
yeah. My brain went May's importance. It is a cup with a cap and a toothbrush that reverses into a sealed toothbrush for a toothbrush and mouth rinsing set. I don't know why. The instant I saw this, I just went, May is going to buy this if it kills her.
Because it's so usable, and I love usable things.
This is functional.
Well,
it's
functional. Well, here's the thing. It's functional to a point, because at some point, that toothbrush is going to be bad.
Yeah,
and
here's the thing:
I'm sure there's a way to swap it.
If it's foldable and such, like this is something you throw in a travel pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you only use it when you're traveling.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna it's not an everyday toothbrush.
Yes. And
so I've had my travel pack toothbrush for a long time.
Yeah. And another CD style memo pad which confused people yet more because this is a better photo. So it confused people more because you can actually see it.
It's a really detailed memo pad.
Yeah, and people were like, "Oh, so there's a new CD coming out called Knife Part," and then you had like multiple people jump on like, "No, it's my memo pad."
And well, the other thing that's confusing about this is that Yamato could be releasing a CD.
Yes, and it looks like a CD. Like it really has the look to it down. And then we have.
So let's just
go ahead.
Instead of his band's new name is The Best.
and then we have.
It's not Knife Thief.
Yeah.
Give him credit.
And then we have proper notepads, which are not looking strange. The new Try Pop-Up Shop art, and then that really, really old, fantastic poster shot of Taichi and Greymon. And then we have clear files of the new art. Then we have the mini pouch looks fantastic. Like the artwork really works in monochrome. My only concern is how small it is. And this has been the most like popular thing from the pop-up shops among importers. Like everyone I know wants these. I have 2 of them. The metal crest keychains.
Yeah.
I have the Mimi one.
I have Mimi and Taichi. Then
catch up.
And then they're doing a Digivice. I don't know why, but I thought of AR when I saw the Digivice one. Is this something that interests you in any form, AR?
Potentially.
I love the. I don't like it not coming with any medallion, but I love the idea that you can buy the medallions and snap it into place.
Yeah, that's always
Yeah.
a fun feature.
Although
I love when tag crest sets do that.
Yeah, it feels a little Power Ranger-y, though. Yeah. And then we have a binder holder, which, like, this is the type of thing where I really do think May's going to get it just so she can use it.
Yeah, like I really like things that I can use. Like I used to buy literally everything that came out that was Digimon, but then when it became too much, I was like, I'm just gonna buy the things that I'm either gonna like really like to see, like not just like random can badges and stuff, and just buy things that are usable. Like the Gomamon bowl, I use that every day for my cereal, and the Algamon glasses case, I use that every day, and the Digimon lunch bag, yeah, I use those. So like I will always buy things that like I think I'm going to use or will use.
And those are all the products minus the tote bag. I don't know why I like this. It like just uses the tri-digital motif and it just looks neat to me.
And it's pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
And now we can talk about the bonus items. For every 2,000 yen you spend, you get a postcard of one character's key art. And if you bring in your ticket to try part 6, and I'm going to have to fix that misspelling later.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it was like 4 a.m., which is odd because I don't think anyone else had commented on it, but yeah. You get a Sukumon Adventure Try postcard.
I love this. I want to try and get this. It's so cool.
It looks neat.
I'm glad they're actually doing something with them. They're not just like, oh, this is a one-off thing. Like they're actually distributing this one. I wish they distributed them all.
It's good
Unless
art.
they didn't,
Like,
I missed
use it.
And the spelling error is
art.
gone.
Magic.
Yeah, I would hope like at some point when I hope we get more art books with a lot of this stuff in it, because so much of this art has just been amazing for the can badges, the events.
Definitely.
Like we need just like a book of pinup art of all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like that would be my number one. Like charge a do a $200 craziest art book. I will fucking buy it. Like make it as expensive as you want. Just include everything. And that's it for the pop-up shop for now. I suspect that in the next episode there will be more products, as there always is. So now they announced a pseudo replacement for DigiFest, Digimon Thanksgiving 2018. There's no artwork yet, so we just used that little celebration image. I've been told there are some alternate translations that might work, such as Digimon Giving Thanks Festival, I've heard, is one that might work. So in theory, it could end up being DigiFest still. This one's going to be at the United Cinemas Aqua City Odaiba on July 29th. Do you think we'll get some sort of announcement of something there?
Hopefully.
Like
I sure hope so.
Like I wouldn't say I'd be shocked if we didn't, but it feels like we're at the point where they're throwing so much stuff at us. I can't imagine they want that to stop.
Yeah, and another thing is like just if this is written, if they're doing this instead of DigiFest, if this is sort of the start of the next chapter with wherever it goes, then it feels like, okay, this is an appropriate evolution. To change up DigiFest at the last second and not have one this year, and to do this one and then stop, that would be kind of sad if they did it that way. Like if you're gonna end it, just have one more DigiFest.
Well, but the other thing is how would you do DigiFest? Because the cast is off doing other things in theory.
Well, you could still get them back for one more party.
Yeah, but not necessarily all of them, though. Is what I mean.
Not even necessarily all of them, but just get a few of them. Get the performers. Have the concert.
Yeah. So this time,
just have a party.
Yeah. So this time they're just saying there will be cast, staff, and artists from Digimon series, and there'll be talks and live performances. I'm very curious to see what we get here.
Especially if they go beyond adventure for this one.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing, I feel like, because the name, I think people forget what DigiFest actually stands for. It's Digimon Adventure Festival.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like it's very designed to be adventure
I,
focused.
yeah. I mean, they did throw in anything else that showed up at the time, but like at the first,
Sure.
like at the first one when Wada Koji was singing, he was wearing the Beelzebumon coat they were selling, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, in all of the performances, you know,
Yeah.
they go beyond adventure. They'll do songs from other seasons, of course.
Yes. So it'll be interesting to see. We'll have more to say about this in the future. There's just not much to say now.
Yeah.
We
It's
do.
all speculation.
We do have some stuff to say about the Tamers Blu-ray box, though.
Couple.
Well, a couple about the box itself. Let's go.
Okay, you can do that part.
Yeah. The box is very nice. It has a nice texture. The Blu-rays are about as good as you would expect. I wrote a very ludicrously large article about this. I mean, it's an expensive Blu-ray box, but it's nice. I mean, May, you got it. Have you opened yours up yet?
I just sort of looked at it. I don't know why Rio's on like the 4th disc when chronologically it should be Jury. I'm not even sure if he's in the episodes that's on that disc, but
Well,
I don't-
well,
it's
I
weird
think
to me.
I think they did it in pseudo order of assumed importance.
I still think Jury's much more important
Well,
considering
well,
she's
to-
the catalyst
That
for
that's
the end of the show.
that's why I said assumed importance.
Yeah.
Remember, like it was very important to Bandai that Ryo be in it, so they did put him in it, but they also ignored that he was supposed to be Ryo from the games entirely. Which that's one of those fun things where we have Kanaka on, Kanaka's old website and on Twitter, where it basically goes, yeah, he's not that different from Ryo from the games, but he's basically completely to Tamers. And I mean, all the artwork's fantastic, and there's not much more to say about the Blu-ray box. Minus the sales are not disappointing, but they're also not great. I mean, I remember discussing sales with both May and AR before we had the numbers, where I went, this is my low estimate, this is my high estimate, this is what I think they need to do to start working on new Tamers immediately. And I was like 34 copies off from my this is as low as it could do without being considered a failure estimate. It did. I mean, it's an expensive box. It did all right. It didn't do great though.
It was very expensive though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But here's the thing. That's not in a vacuum though. We know how well O2 and Adventure did, and the movie box. Adventure and O2 were the same price, and ignoring how high Adventure got because it's Adventure, Tamers did about 66% of what O2 did. And the O2 box wasn't nearly as nice as this. Shall we move on to what everyone wants to talk about?
I'm ready.
Sure.
Yeah. The brand new audio drama. After going through it all, thinking about it carefully,
It was all right.
the problem is it's not an audio drama.
It is a very strange interpretation of audio drama. Yeah.
It's basically a pitch reel that they paid him to make. Because
it's kind of fun. Like it's the way I would look at it is it's a way to imagine how the series would continue.
yeah, but there's also not much there, is what I mean.
No, it's
Like
mean-
it is a half-hour audio drama, but it feels like there's less content than the first episode
Yeah.
of Tamers, for example, or the first episode of O2. There's nothing there, is my issue.
yeah, like it doesn't really hit very hard with a lot of the concepts it wants to play with. Like a lot of the stuff it throws in, it's really hard to say that it was particularly deep, especially when it hits a lot of the stuff that Atmon covered really well.
Yeah. There's just not much. It's very. I don't want to say it's empty because it's not, but there's not much here minus little bullet points of interest. And even then, the bullet points aren't necessarily that interesting. Like, and this is where, even in like the Discord, everyone's discussed it. Tell me about, like, because we've been introduced to, in theory, who the new characters would be for the show, right? If there was a show. Tell me about Adult Rookie.
Yeah, like that's one thing I noticed listening to it just now is that it doesn't really pay enough attention to Ruki, and it only gives her kind of a little bit of token angst for not having Renamon.
Yeah.
Like I get that was a that was sort of an outside circumstance, but it still should be something that she can reflect on a little bit
But
more,
what I
and
mean-
there could be a little more angst there.
But what I mean is, even like Jean Lang, tell me about him. His entire character is he went to Stanford and now he works for NYX. That's it. There is nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
We got like one-off bullet points from. I mean, tell me about Takato.
Like, I could feel like I could tell you a lot about Takato, but only because this kind of confirmed what I imagined the characters would be.
But that's what I mean though.
that.
Without filling in your own imagination, going off what we see here, it just feels like not much really happens, at least to me.
No.
It feels like we got a 30-minute audio drama of what could have been a 5-minute OVA, sort of. I mean,
No, I think it...
maybe not literally 5 minutes, but like there's not 30 minutes of content here is my issue.
It's not a whole story, and that's probably an issue. But it's just kind of... I enjoyed it just simply because it was nice. It's nice to hear the characters again.
Oh, I did enjoy it. It's just I'm not. It's hard because this is supposed to be like the imagining of where Tamers would go from here, and I'm just not sure.
It's as far as imagining where Tamers would go from there. Like I would appreciate. Like that I can appreciate.
Yeah.
For you hear it and go, okay, I could see how the story could play out.
Yeah, but
like you can sort of let your imagination go from there.
But that's
and I really do appreciate that.
I appreciate
it's just not a self-contained story.
That's
it's not
that's
really
kind of my
epilogue.
that's kind
It's
of my
just sort
issue.
of like this is how a next chapter could go, and it's sort of it doesn't force a happy ending. I also like that.
Well, my issue is
like
more
that would have been one of my biggest fears. Like it's gonna say, okay, they had kind of a bummer ending. Let's fix that. No, they did not go with that route, and that I think was really important to me.
See, but my issue is this effect. This should have basically been the victory lap for fans. This should have been like Tamers gets an audio drama after basically 20 years. And instead we got basically a short what if to a sequel that ends on a cliffhanger and then sort of taunts us with a next episode preview. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying I'm not sure I like what it is. But the other thing is I'm not sure it would have been honest to expect anything else from Kanaka.
And that's probably where I start with. It's like this is sort of what I expected to get.
It's what
I think getting anything else would have been kind of disingenuous to the ending of Tamers.
I don't disagree there. It's just it's sort of like this is what I expected. It's just not necessarily what it feels like a one-off audio drama should be, even though I'm not sure what else it could have been with him writing it. If that makes complete sense.
It's hard to say I don't I mean, I kind of like it better than like what the adventure audio drama got with those sort of two kind of.
Well, the adventure one was kind of weird because when he was making it, he knew there was going to be a sequel that he wasn't involved with. And Kakado, for all our joking about him, taking photos when he's not supposed to, he is not someone who steps on people's toes.
Yeah.
Like when he gives us information about his of how he imagines X, Y, and Z to be, he points out that it's not like anyone's obligated to go with what he thinks with. That's just what was in his head.
Yeah, and that's sort of hurt the adventure drama in just a little way because it did, even though those it covered material that we may have wanted, but at the same time it's like these are two very interesting choices to make.
But it was also a victory lap for adventure itself when something new was coming. With Tamers,
I think that both succeed as far as just giving us something new. Like just hearing Terriermon and Guilmon again. That's enough of a victory lap for me.
Oh no, it absolutely gives us something new. I'm just not 100% sure. It's very hard to take in what it is versus maybe what it needed to be. And I think part of the issue is I think it kind of got built up at what it was going to be just based on his interactions with everyone.
Yeah, that's fair. Like,
Where-
I was expecting to get a little more involvement with, like, Yamaki and Nyx.
Yeah.
And especially with the current situation and the current state of the internet
Well, that.
and the current state of the digital world, like that, I wanted more depth with.
Well, I think that's.
Like, we got a little bit, but
I think that's also.
that I wish they would have explored in a deeper fashion.
I think my primary issue, and I think I just figured out how to really explain it, is let's go ahead and pretend they're going to do more Tamers in the next couple years. This is going to be completely wiped out. Even if Kanaka does exactly what it does, the first thing we see is going to be this redone, quote unquote, properly. So what does this end up being, I guess, is my issue. It's almost more of a curiosity than anything else.
Yeah, it could be. It's sort of the early version of the pilot before anyone knew what they were doing with it. It's like the first episode of the U.S. Office.
I think the moment where I kind of disconnected, I never fully disconnected, the moment where like, oh man, is this enemy as bad as the D-Reaper? And like, the D-Reaper's nothing compared to this thing. And it just feels...
They justified it well, at least.
They sort of did.
I think one of my big issues is they did too much writing around the particular constraints they had with the audio, you know, not really wanting Takato to have an adult voice, not having Renamon available. They kind of spent too much time trying to write around that.
Yes. And then trying to explain to people what foglets are.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean...
An audio drama really shouldn't need liner notes.
Yeah. But then it's like, Guilmon and Terramon aren't really there either, because they're foglet copies. And it's like, at some point, I'm not saying going the easy route is preferential, but wouldn't it have just made more sense to just open up a tear and have Guilmon and Terramon show up?
Yeah. Like, it would have been a lot easier just to have some sort of...
Or even,
something to do it. Even if Nyx was responsible for it and say, we're going to tear a hole in the universe because they've done it before.
Well, but that's also, like, what comes up. Like, for example, Takato is not Takato from the past. He's a foglet copy of Takato, which is basically being used to bring Takato to the future, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So where's Takato? He got pulled into, like, a digital rip hole, didn't he?
Something like that.
Like
they sort of.
But it's like they did the thing where they could go. It was a time hole, and he gets pulled into a time hole, and then they just never quite explain what the hell it was because it's not relevant to how he got there. Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's also funny that they use this concept of foglets, you know, in such a long way to explain what they are, and part of that explanation is we're not going to rely on diginomes because they kind of suck.
Yeah, but it could have just been a random.
It's like the diginomes. It's an existing mechanic. Just use the diginomes again.
Why
not?
Just use it and point out that, you know, it could be a while before Takato can go home because the diginomes are jerks.
Yeah, it's like you already have this sort of mechanic in there, and it's like, yeah, it's sort of BS, but it's like it's there. If you said that, it's like, okay, sure.
Yes, exactly. Do we have much more to say? It's hard because it's also kind of more of a what if than a real beginning.
Nah, I like that it confirmed what I expected for the characters.
Well, but
I really appreciated the tragic irony with Juri. Like, Juri was really strong in this one for me. Like, the idea that she has to wait for Takato because Takato doesn't wait for Guilmon. I love that sort of tragic irony.
See, my other issue is even if we get a Tamer sequel, Kanaka may end up not being involved. As much as mean as it sounds to say, there's no reason to assume that if they do more, he will be involved.
Right. Oh, and they could go in a completely different direction in this.
I mean,
too.
This may very well end up this could very well end up being a random footnote in the history of Tamers.
I hope they keep Ruki as a biker girl, though.
Well, that's the other thing is she's not really a biker girl. I mean, like
Does motocross.
yeah, she does motocross, but I mean, like the way people have translated it and talked about it, they're talking about like she's riding around with a leather jacket on a Harley.
Yeah,
Is what I mean.
Yeah.
Like there is a.
I know that there's a significant difference. But...
Yeah, but it's more like, I think motocross is
like motocross rider. Like, yeah, I can go with this.
It's better. Yeah, it's better for her character than what people were imagining.
Yeah, and
yeah.
Jen is perfect. Like Jen being a university professor, like that's
I
straight up.
See, but I like the idea that him working at NYX was that he made a new Digivice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like people like, oh, they card slash with a phone. It seems more like they're saying that he made it specifically so they could do it, not that it's just there.
Yeah.
Do we have much more to say about Tamers?
I covered all my notes.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
Okay. We'll go ahead and do a quickie version of the topic since we talked about that and we're running long anyways. What do we enjoy doing when we aren't focusing / dealing / working on Digimon stuff?
I help run an anime convention.
Well, no, more casual than that, because even that is Digimon related.
Yeah, lately it has been.
Yeah. So like, what do you do to relax, AR? That's not Digimon related.
Well, I mean, what do I do to relax a lot? I don't do a whole lot. I just chill and watch stuff, I guess.
Well, are there?
I write. I write. I spend a lot of time on the internet.
Are there shows you? I mean, like, what shows do you like? Stuff like that. Like.
Oh, I'm not watching anything particular right now. I don't really. That's the thing is, I watch a little stuff. I watch stuff here and there, mostly whatever my wife was watching.
Yeah. At the moment, completely seriously, I'm rewatching The Next Generation. And I've also been rewatching some old anime, like I'm rewatching season 1 of Danmachi because season 2 is coming relatively soon. And then there's a few other shows that I plan picking up, like they're finally doing a 4th Full Metal Panic. And of course, the one thing that me and AR talked everyone's head off about last time was older video games.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What do you do that's not Digimon based, May?
Well, before I hurt my ankle, I was taking speed skating classes, so that's pretty fun. I just skate a lot. I have 3 pairs of skates. Aggressive skates, which are like you do at a skate park, you can do grinds with them. Speed skates, which have a lower boot, so there's more ankle maneuverability, but it also endangers the ankle to injuries. It's for speed, like you go around the rink and you time yourself, and that's pretty fun. I haven't started racing yet, but I'm just taking classes at the moment. And then there's regular like street skating, like recreational skating, like going places and just with skates on, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, I guess I watch a lot of sports is the other thing. I'm actually quite a big sports fan. Like, I watch a lot of baseball and soccer.
Any specific teams?
Cubs for baseball. For soccer, my U.S. team is Sporting Kansas City. My English team is actually Fulham in the 2nd division.
Okay, what were you about to say, May?
I was about to say, I also, as of like last night, I go geocaching. That's pretty fun.
I've heard that's fun.
It's so fun. Like, I just went out last night with my flatmate for a bit because like I barely moved around for like a week, so I kind of wanted to get like move and stuff. My ankle's still kind of sore, but it was nice to actually leave the house.
Yeah, I'm not generally an outside person, but that seems like something I would get into if I really wanted to.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm not a huge outdoor person. I like movies, games. I like to sit back and read. I'm constantly reading on either a tablet or a Kindle. I love just reading stuff also, like old comics and books.
It's like that's the thing, it's like I also spend a lot of time writing, but that's Digimon, so
yeah. So
it doesn't count.
So AR is all Digimon. May skates, and I do the potpourri of random generic TV stuff. And shocking, it's well, shocking for how I think it's kind of shocking how much all of us do that is Digimon stuff. Like, you would think one of us would have burnt out with how much stuff we do.
Maybe.
I mean,
like, it's fun.
I guess. Yeah, and it's like and so much of what I also am raising a kid, so
Yeah. Well,
like, that takes up a lot of time too.
Well, it's also a matter of if Digimon's relaxing and fun for you, it's relaxing and fun.
Yeah.
It makes it very easy that it is, to a degree, kind of work for all three of us, but we actually all do enjoy it, which makes it significantly easy.
It's only kind of work for me when I'm doing like a system restore article or something, which I probably have to do pretty soon. But like May, the month of May is going to be pretty intense reviewing movie 6 and stuff, but like outside of that, it's like, no, it's fun. Like, this is a fun thing.
It is a fun thing. It will be much more fun for me starting a few hours from now. Because
wait till next Friday.
You know, next Friday it would be very hard to be as stressful as it's been the last week and a half, roughly, because
Okay, wait till the week with the Tokuban.
No, I don't see how it could be as stressful as what ended up happening, because the Tamer set showed up. I had woken up early, and this was a Wednesday. It shows up at around noon. I'm scanning everything, editing. Then the next day I'm writing everything. Then there's the thing late at night, the stream, which ended up being worthless, and I get the Tamer set up, which is fantastic. Tuesday, the Tri-Part 4 Blu-ray shows up. I'm like, okay, there's a podcast. I want to get this done by Friday. And it's like, okay, start putting that together on Wednesday, along with other stuff. Thursday is when the CD showed up, and there was between the time I had the CD, got it, the breakdown was up in 2 hours. Because I simply did not have the time to screw around and not get it up. It got up and it was like, oh great, this is fantastic. Minus one or two things they'll throw up in the next night or two. We're ready for the podcast. I'm going to go to bed tonight early, get sleep, because at that point I'm running on like 4 hours sleep. I lay down, and that's when like all hell broke loose. So I had to.
I'm really glad I didn't try to do the podcast prep when you first sent the notes.
Well,
I waited till this afternoon.
Well, that was the other thing is and I mentioned it last time, is normally I try to get you guys the notes somewhat early. I don't believe you guys even had the preliminary notes until like Thursday at night, because I was throwing them together on Thursday because of stuff that I'd been doing earlier in the week. And of course, then Friday was redoing the notes to put everything in order, new cards and everything. And it meant that every once in a while I just wandered away from the computer to watch, random anime. Having Star Trek up in a window just to try to keep myself sane with how much I've been doing the last week or so. And because it's kind of strange, because it is kind of a job doing it. Trying to get everything up, but it's still fun. But definitely, like, that's why I don't want to do a rewatch, and I don't think you, I know you don't want to do a rewatch, AR, and May, you're already doing one.
I don't want to do a full rewatch. Like, I will rewatch seasons as I feel like them.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I really need to rewatch Sabers.
Yeah.
But I have no interest in starting over. Like, I just
watched
Adventure through Tamers again last year.
No, but that's also what I mean, though.
And I don't feel like I'm compelled to rewatch Frontier before watching Sabers again.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to be rewatching Atmon at some point again.
But that's what
I have to do the articles for them.
But that's what I mean is in like I said, May's already doing a rewatch. We can't really do a rewatch because at that point it turns a little bit too much into a job with how much we already do. Like, May's put together a rewatch because she's decided that would be something fun to do.
Yeah.
I do not think I could sit there and do a rewatch at a specific pace and then do the topic, because I've talked about stuff so much. Like, when I relax, I'm not necessarily relaxing and wandering off to watch Digimon. It would be too much.
And that's the thing, is like, when I rewatch stuff, I'm just rewatching for fun. I'm not trying to break it down critically anymore.
Yeah, like if I'm gonna watch one of the movies, I'm watching a movie or an episode. I'm not gonna go and I have to watch all 50 episodes of Adventure and tell people what I think of each episode. I could not do it anymore. I just don't have that in me at the moment.
And there are plenty of places you can go to find really good analysis of people who do that. So
yeah, I mean, there's literally half a dozen podcasts to do it, and we have one of the better ones with us right now.
Mm-hmm. It's like May's got a retrospective. I have a retrospective. There's a bunch of other retrospectives out there.
Somewhere you can see me rambling about this stuff in text. Because and AR has seen it, like in the chat room, we do get questions all the time about us doing a rewatch on the podcast.
Yeah.
People think that I'm joking when I say that we constantly get questions about it. We still do, even saying bordering on every episode that we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not like I wouldn't have different opinions now than I had. It's like System Restore, when I started it, is now close to 7 years old. So some of my opinions have changed, and since, System Restore is going off the dub, I'm sure that it would be nice to have some opinions of the Japanese version, but
But yeah, as far as non-Digimon stuff though, this anime season is going to be kind of weird for me because there's a lot of different sequels to shows I already know I like. So there's something very great for relaxing for when realistically you can expect that, oh, this show that I liked 15 years ago and I know I still like is coming back with a new season. Plus a show from
that reminds me, I have to get back to watching Clear Card Arc.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Card Captor Sakura is still running.
Mm-hmm. I'm only like a few episodes into that. I gotta catch up.
There's new Full Metal Panic. There's a new season of High School DxD, but with completely different staff. And I saw at least one synopsis of the first episode that literally goes, it just tries to jump through the first 3 seasons in basically the episode. And because I know some Digimon fans will be amused by the idea, the end of the episode apparently starts to change things from episodes from the prior season. Which is a discussion we've had about that Tri can do whatever it wants. So it'll be interesting to see how it tails off, because we're almost at the end. Like, we're shockingly close.
Yeah.
It's weird to think, just like
it's at the same time, while I'm kind of really excited to see how Tri ends up, I'm also kind of apprehensive about where they're gonna go from here. It's like, I don't want them to just stop.
No, because like, all arguments aside, ignoring arguments about quality, because me and AR have generally been happy with it. May's been more up and down, I believe. And there are some people who just don't like it. It's very hard. It would be very hard for me to take seriously any argument who does not think that, as far as a brand goes, that it's at the strongest point it's been in a very long time.
Mm-hmm. And not just with sales and viewership, but just with the quality of content. Beyond Tri, just the quality that they're putting out between Tri, Atmon, Cyber Sleuth. We're getting some really good stories out of this, and it looks like we may even potentially have one with Rearise, which is insane for a mobile game.
See, that's where we keep getting stuck with Rearise, though, is we don't fucking know what's going on. It could literally be that we get a few static screens of information. But we can hope.
But we're just getting so much good content right now and it's not just cash. It doesn't feel cash driven.
No,
it is obviously, but
it doesn't feel cash driven until they're throwing 6 things at us all at once.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously trying to make $1 million off of this, but it doesn't feel that way when we watch it.
No.
And that's what I want. That's why I want to make sure
Yeah.
it continues.
So this should also point out just how terrible we are with non-Digimon stuff. Is the non-Digimon topic basically was about Digimon.
Yeah.
So
well, when you said I'm not allowed to talk about when con-staffing counts as Digimon stuff, it's like, oh well, there goes my life.
yeah, but it sort of twisted back to Digimon because I mean that is what we're here to talk about. Even when we're trying not to, it tends to swing back. So everyone out, you guys start thinking about your questions because we'll get to that in just a minute. As we're getting to that, next episode will be in 2 weeks, and it's just going to be me and May.
I'm at another event
Yeah.
somewhere, so I have a party too.
The topic in that episode is me and May are going to talk about like what kind of stuff do we want to see from Digi-Evolving Spirits going forward, because the line is getting better and better.
The environment will always be the best, though.
Ironically, I think AR was kind of pleased that was going to be the episode he missed time-wise, because it meant that he wasn't going to have to discuss all the stuff they ended up announcing we had to discuss anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, because you were going to be...
I mean, I like a lot... This is... The stuff that they put out Friday overnight was... Like, this is the Chinchi stuff that I like talking about, so I don't mind that stuff.
No, I know, but it felt like they threw out so much of it, it was almost kind of stressful to talk about.
It's hard to cover everything appropriately, given how much there is.
Okay, so... Let's see. Guess I should see if there are any questions that popped up earlier while we wait for newer ones. So
there was one we saw very earlier is, do we expect Rastielmon in our future? My answer is yes, but... It's also hard to talk about if you've seen the spoilers, so...
My answer is I've seen the spoilers.
So don't answer that, I guess.
The spoilers are about as terrible as you'd expect, but I would... And honestly...
I'd find it hard-pressed to... something like that.
Well, here's
ignored something like that.
See. Here's the thing: the spoilers ignore a lot. I can honestly say from the spoilers, I don't know if she shows up or not. The spoilers are so off and on what they say. I can honestly say I don't believe there was a solid comment one way or the other.
Oh, well, there you go. May?
I don't know. Yes. I'm just. I read the spoilers and I just don't care. Yeah.
Poor May, part 5 broke her soul.
Yeah. But Atmon sort of like will always restore it, because the Atmon finale restored my soul.
Does it bother you that more people like Try than Atmon?
I mean, like, it's a matter of opinion, right? Like, I can't say, hey, your opinion's wrong, because that's not right. Like, some people like.
I mean, I think
mint
Try's,
chocolate.
I think Try's better than Atmon, and I'm still kind of mad that more people have seen Try than Atmon. More people need to watch Atmon.
Like, Atmon, I personally think it's better
really
than Try.
Good.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, people are allowed to like Try more than Atmon. It's just that when people say, oh, Atmon's not good, and they haven't seen it, that annoys me, because they're formulating opinion of nothing. Like, but yeah, it's good.
Which, regardless of whichever one is better, you should see Atmon.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
I feel like a lot of people are waiting for something more for Atmon, just like for a proper release in some fashion.
Yeah, an official release that's probably what we need.
Let's see. Then another question was, what year do you think the next Digimon anime will be released? I mean, I don't know how to even really answer that. It's not like we have any information. We'd be completely guessing outside of saying this year or next.
I mean, I hope that it's like at the end of the year, because I'm in Japan in December.
Yeah, you could still conceivably have something in the fall.
Well, let's say that we get like the like Atmon aired in October. We could get theoretically a new season in October.
Right, and Atmon was announced first in May, so
or we could
be getting one.
Or it could be the TV airing of Digimon Adventure Try.
Yeah, and as long as there's merch when I'm there in Japan, I don't care. I want to go to one of the pop-up shops.
Unless they do the film type stuff, I'm not sure I expect to see another pop-up shop for a bit.
Yeah, I know, which is sad.
It's just a bit hard to focus when they're doing an actual show type show.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, any more questions? Let me scroll up and look here. Okay.
Sort of expectations for more.
Yeah, NECA was wondering, do we expect more cafes, more pop-up shops after Tribe Part 6? Not unless they're announcing something new.
Yeah,
I just don't...
I would like there to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the expectation for the Tokubon is not that they're going to announce new pop-up stuff a week early. It's going to be that they're going to bring out the nasty matcha drink and the weird ice cream thing. Each person's going to take a drink or a spoonful of it and go, tasty.
Yeah, and then spit it out as soon as the camera moves away.
Yeah. I mean, that is the expectation. It's just, now, there may be some products they show or the first 5 minutes. I'm not expecting pseudo big crazy stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do think we're going to get the first 5 minutes, though. Like, that seems pretty certain.
Yes. And the other nice thing about it is that with it being just one Tokubon so close, there's only so much time to discuss it.
Mm-hmm. And also, the first 5 minutes usually haven't given away a whole lot. Like, the first 10 sometimes have had some interesting content, but the first 5 minutes, like, never... it's still kind of setting up the movie, so it doesn't really feel all that substantial.
Well, I like that they've also manipulated what they've shown on occasion.
Well, yeah, that too.
Like
I mean, they kind of cheated with part 4, but that's understandable.
Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's much more in the way of questions. We'll give them one more chance, and then we'll call it.
We're already 2 hours 20, so I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've had a headache, so.
Yeah. So we'll give them a chance to do questions. Then we're just gonna call it, because I think we've gone over. I would just like to point out, 2 weeks ago, me and AR were talking. Do we need an episode next week, or should we wait 2 weeks? It's like, there's not that much now. How much can they really do in 2 weeks? I think Toei took that as a challenge.
Yeah, Toei listens.
Well, I'm glad we didn't do one last week.
Yeah,
because that would have been kind of thin, and now we're just completely. We just got completely packed.
Yep. Okay.
And it's a good thing you have a topic for next time, because who knows if you'll have a ton for that.
Yeah. Okay. So no more questions then. Thanks everyone for showing up. Like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, review us on iTunes, because that actually does help the podcast. We still list my Twitter, but it seems like I'm rarely there. I'm generally on the With the Will Twitter. AR, where can they find you?
I'm on Twitter as First Agent ARP.
May?
I'm on Twitter at Ancient Arismon, but I more or less use the @Translation on Twitter a bit more, especially with Digimon stuff. My personal one's just like my daily life stuff.
Yeah, we've gotten a bit lazy in updating May's photo on the title cards, because she changes hers a lot.
I guess I think did I recently change? I can't even remember.
It's definitely a different image now. It's not you with the Gabumon.
I can't even remember what it is at the moment. Is it? Oh yeah, it's just a photo I took the other day with my new glasses.
But yeah, and don't forget, me, AR, and May are in the Discord. More often than not, me and AR, May pops in when she can. I don't know why I think I said that wrong somehow, but whatever. I don't know. Is there anything else to really say? Minus, Jesus Christ, I'm actually shocked we got through all that news at such a good pace.
God, I need to lie down now.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Even with...
I'm surprised it made it. It ended up being... It's unfortunate it ended up being 2 hours 20 minutes, given my rather not ideal circumstances.
Hey,
we made it work.
Hey, everything worked, and not only that, everything got talked about, which, like, I honestly was sitting here going, if we don't go at a decent clip, my brain's going, at what point do I just go, okay, we're done? And that's part of why the Tamers thing was at the end, because if need be, I could have just gone, we'll do this topic some other time. Bye! And then... So, thanks everyone for showing up. It was a long episode with a lot of stuff. I think we went over it relatively well, though.
Yeah, if I survive this snowstorm, see you for the on the other side for our big try discussion.
Yeah, because that is the current plan. Is it's going to be just me and May 2 weeks from now, And then a week after, it's going to be the three of us talking about Tri Part 6 and all of Tri, really.
That's probably good. Yeah, it's going to be kind of a Tri retrospect. Well, I think focus primarily on Tri Part 6, but maybe at the end get into, overall impressions now that we have seen the whole thing.
Yes, there will be a lot to talk about no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Thanks, everyone, for showing up. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.